What is up, guys? Welcome back to the SUPES channel. My name is Matthew Ramos, and on this channel I am to entertain, inform, and inspire using the topic of discussion as always, which is superheroes. So guys, news finally came out from the car company known as Audi, which has a deal with Marvel, which is why you always see Tony Stark driving Audi R8s, and it's basically a brand deal where Marvel places Audi's cars in their movie. So Audi came out with news regarding and that could possibly spoil who saves Tony Stark in Avengers Endgame. So it was announced earlier today that the car company Audi will be partnering with Marvel to create a new virtual reality experience, and this virtual reality game is going to be known as Avengers Rocket's Rescue Run. And this virtual reality experience is basically going to be a game where Rocket is inside a spaceship and he's on his way to rescue someone in space. And the basic premise of the game is you basically have to avoid asteroids and other space objects in order to, protect your ship from being damaged. And this is actually a very interesting announcement, as, it correlates to Avengers Endgame and what we got from that Avengers Endgame teaser trailer. So before we speculate further with this new VR experience called Marvel's Avengers Rocket Rescue Run, and how that correlates and intertwines with the plot for Avengers Endgame, let's take a seat back and, analyze the outside components lying behind this theory. So when the snap happened and everyone disappeared, all of the Guardians disappeared except for Rocket. And from that Avengers Endgame trailer, we didn't see Rocket once. So we know that he's probably not with the remaining Avengers in the Avengers facility in upstate New York. And we just didn't see him at all. So where possibly could he be? Now, with the snap, disintegrating the rest of the Guardians, Rocket doesn't know that Star-Lord disappeared and the remaining Guardians disappeared. He doesn't even know Gamora died. So in Rocket's head, it would be the smartest decision to make after the snap happened is to rendezvous with the other Guardians to make sure that the other Guardians are okay. So it would make sense for Rocket to either contact the Guardians in some way or track their ship. And from the Avengers Endgame teaser, Tony and Nebula are seen in the Benatar, which is the ship that the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in. So what if Rocket is tracking that ship and he's on his way to the ship currently in order to rendezvous and check in to see if the other Guardians are still alive from the snap? Now, when you take a step back and really analyze all of this evidence, when you also take in all the other theories of who will save Tony Stark, such as Pepper Potts and the Rescue Armor, Captain Marvel, the Ravagers. There was so many theories, and no one really saw Rocket Raccoon to be the one to save Tony Stark and Nebula. But now it makes the most sense. And coming off of my 5 things that need to happen in Avengers 4 video, one of the things that needs to happen in Avengers 4 is that Rocket needs to collab with Tony Stark. And having this play out where Rocket is the one that saves Tony and Nebula, this could be where we see Rocket and Tony interact and collab in order to fix the Benatar and make their way back to Earth in order to rendezvous with the other Avengers and reunite, reassemble, and take down Thanos. Now, coming off of Infinity War, where we saw a beautiful scene featuring Rocket and Thor in the back of an escape pod from the Benatar where they're on their way to Nidavellir in order to craft Stormbreaker. We see Rocket talking with Thor, and they're both discussing, what they've lost. And Rocket and Thor truly have lost everything. Now, coming off of Avengers Infinity War, the Guardians are literally the only thing that Rocket has left. And now with Groot disappearing right in front of his eyes, the only thing that makes logical sense is for Rocket to, rendezvous and recover like whatever else he has left, which is the remaining Guardians. So it would be understandable for Rocket Raccoon, who we know is very, very stubborn, to, take a ship from the Avengers and make his way back to the Benatar and track the Benatar in order to meet up with possibly the Guardians who he thinks could still be alive. So looking at this theory from this perspective, it makes 100% total sense for Rocket Raccoon to be the one to save Tony and Nebula. And this would also be one of the 5 things that I mentioned in my 5 things that need to happen in Avengers Endgame video. Link is in the description if you guys want to check that out. But this would be one of those 5 things that needs to happen. I need to see Tony and Rocket collab. As we both know, they're both the most tech-savvy characters in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this theory of Rocket saving Tony and Nebula makes 100% total sense. Because let's really take a step back. If Pepper was the one to rescue Tony with her rescue armor, which is the most popular fan theory, how is Nebula gonna get back? Yes, Pepper comes, rescues Tony, but how are they gonna, they're just gonna fly back, them two, and leave Nebula on the ship? No. Somehow it makes more sense for Rocket to rendezvous with Tony and Nebula, thinking that the rest of the Guardians are still alive, fix the ship as Tony and Rocket both collab and fix the ship, and then make their way back to Earth with the remaining Avengers. Now this theory just makes 100% total sense, and it's supported with the recent announcement from Audi and Marvel. This theory is absolutely 100%, making total logical sense to take place in Avengers Endgame, and I think that Rocket Raccoon is going to be the one to save Tony and Nebula. So there you guys have it. There's my Who Will Save Tony Stark and Nebula video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.